Good morning and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. We are making flapjacks today. And we are starting by melting 4 ounces of butter. And the rest of the recipe is really actually very simple. It's all 4 ounces. So there is 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of sultanas, or dried apricots or whatever fruit you want, 4 ounces of self-raising flour, and 4 ounces of oats. And basically you mix them all together. Now, the last time I tried this, I tried to blend them in the mixer, but the butter wasn't soft enough. It just ended up being lumps, which was a bit problematic. So, excuse me, this time we are melting the butter because the butter only came out the freezer this morning. So we're melting the butter this time and then just going to add everything. And then what we do is put it into the tray with the parchment paper lining. It takes about maybe 10-15 minutes to bake. Then we take it out when it's soft, when it's still warm. We take it out of the oven and lift the paper out of the tray and then cut it into squares while it's still warm, because it's much more difficult to cut when it's cold. And that's you done. And I mean, really, the longest thing is the melting of the butter, as you can see, and the time in the oven, and then obviously waiting for it to cool down. So as that butter is about to start sizzling, we are going to start adding, because this will melt down anyway. And really all it is once the butter's melted, we're obviously just going to turn that down. The oats, add the flour, give that a bit mix. Because obviously we want the flour coated with the butter and all that good stuff. So I just want to get that mixed as soon as possible. Right. There we go. Sultanas. And last but not least, what makes this absolutely scrummy, you will have noticed I did not add or mention sugar. That's because we don't use sugar in this one. What we use is golden syrup. Now, it's supposed to be 4 ounces of golden syrup. Now, I have not measured out 4 ounces because that's just too messy. However, I did weigh this bottle. And it needs to be roughly a quarter of the bottle, or of what's in the bottle that I use. And basically you want enough so that it binds all this together, so you get lovely icky sticky flapjacks. Now obviously that is not enough, and it's not quarter weight wise of what was there. So we'll just do another big gloop. As you can see, this does not come out of the bottle easily. So we're just going to spread it around a bit. There we go. That should do. Because as I say, the syrup is there to obviously help bind this all together. Here we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is basically it. Now I just need a knife to scrape the spoon, and now we're just going to take this off the heat and pop it into the tray. Nope, don't want to leave any bits. Now, I have found in previous incarnations of doing this that actually a really good way to get this squished down, because it sticks to the back of the wooden spoon. So what we do is we see how hot this water is, not very. So we'll pop that on for a second while we get a spoon. Now, as you can see, it even sticks to this spoon. That water should be hot enough now. So we're just going to put some hot water in the bowl. And miraculously, it doesn't stick as much. So, as I say, we're just going to smooth this down at the edges. And you'll feel when the spoon starts to stick again. There we go, close enough. Right. That can now go in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. See you soon. And here we have, this took 15 minutes to be that lovely perfect golden brown colour. So what we're going to do now is just cut, or at least make the cuts. There we go. Now, the worst bit about the cutting is when you go through the fruit. And I normally find that it's still a bit crumbly at this stage. But then it wouldn't be a proper flapjack if, I'm just going to leave that one, if it wasn't crumbly. There we go. Now we just leave that to cool and we have some beautiful flapjacks.